guys, so today's video might be a little more personal than you're used to, so I do apologize. I do know that I have a lot of younger people that watch my channel, and I have gotten some flack for swearing. Unfortunately, I do that. I'm sorry. It happens. I'm an adult. Sometimes my potty mouth gets out of control. Cupcake does swear. I do swear, but I do realize that offends some, so oops, my bad. But today I specifically wanted to cover advice I would have had for my younger self. And this is one that I have had to work on for weeks because it's been really hard to talk about it. But I think some good will come of it. So at any rate, here is some advice that I would have given younger Cupcake. Okay, so when I was growing up, my family moved a lot. I won't tell you how many times, but we moved quite a bit, both in and out of state, once out of the country, like a lot. So understandably, when I was growing up, I had a lot of resentment towards all of these moves because I didn't have a great memory on me. I had very bad short-term memory. So memorizing things like phone numbers, addresses, names, did not go so hot because understandably it takes me a little longer to learn things. Like if I meet you, it'll probably take me 3 or 4 times for me to get your name. It's not me being rude, it's just that I've always struggled with this. So actually having fursuits makes it a lot easier for me to remember people's names because I can put a very colorful face to a name and it's a ton easier. But when I was younger, I was pretty angry about it and I didn't handle it super maturely. I know I lashed out quite a bit when I was very, very, very young, around 2nd or 3rd grade, and when it came to middle and high school, I had pretty much just moved into a new area, so I was understandably very irritated. And you know, middle and high school years, you just got hormones aplenty. So I was super pissy. Oh yeah, I was not pleasant to be around at all during that time. So some advice I would give to my younger self in dealing with constant moving and no sense of hometown and constantly being schlepped from city to city and feeling like you didn't fit in anywhere, I'd say, younger me, it sucked, I know, and it was horrible. And yes, memorizing like 8 or 9 different phone numbers before you'd even graduated high school was shitty, and I get it. But, you know, you could have stood to be a little bit more understanding of the situation. The reason you were moving was for good reasons. It was for more opportunity and so that you could have, you know, more good things happen in your life. And, you know, you could have stood to say a few more I'm sorry's for your shit behavior. So, you know, I know that times are hard and it is really, really tough for you to fit in, and God help you, you are never gonna learn that jerk's name in your homeroom ever, but you know, just do your best, keep your head down, and you know, come high school, you're gonna discover anime and the internet, and you're going to discover a whole bunch of online communities that are going to really empower you, like DeviantArt, and you're gonna discover furries. You're not going to know what they are, and you're going to have absolutely no idea that they're a thing, but you are going to start drawing animals, and you're going to feel a lot happier for it. So just hang in there. No, it sucks. Younger me. Alright, so middle and high school were not particularly fun, and college also had some ups and downs. So in high school, I was definitely not the popular kid at all. I was in the band, I sang in choir, and I really didn't have a lot of friends at all. But I was kind of the weird kid that hung out in the weird part of the school after school happened because, you know, we were weird. We did those weird things. I mean, in all honesty, I just went to the anime club and hung out and watched anime, so it's not really that weird. and peruse DeviantArt for more stuff to draw. But in college, I kind of found my tribe and kind of made a home for myself, but about halfway through, had a pretty shitty experience that I'm not going to go into detail about, but it did leave me pretty unstable, I think would be the right word for it. Mentally unstable, just not good, for probably close to 2 months. I did keep going to class, I did keep going through the daily routines, but I was just not mentally okay. So once I was able to conquer that with no medications and no help, and with pretty much no one having a clue what I was going through, got better, I graduated, I left it all behind me. But what would I say to younger me that had to experience all of that? So high school cupcake, I fully understand that at this time in your life, trip pants and My Chemical Romance and black eyeliner are kind of the only constants, and that's okay. Admittedly, you could stand to learn how to put on the eyeliner, but we will not talk about that. But one thing you could do right away is not make a live journal, because that's going to become cliche in the future, and you do not need to write depressing ass poetry, because at this point you were not that sad. So you did not need to do that. And what you probably should have done is taken all of that creative energy and poured it into art, which admittedly you tried to, but you kind of like let it go and then brought it back and let it go. You should have just focused all of that into an art medium, because now that you're doing it in the future, this is future me talking to little you, it gets better. And then to college cupcake, I'm really sorry that that happened to us. It was really unpleasant, and I know that you had some really bad days, like really, really bad. I understand that because I've had that happen pretty recently for a few weeks. It's okay. One thing that you are not doing at this point in your life that you should be doing is talking to your friends. I know that you think you can bear this all by yourself, but the truth is you can't. And I don't know how in the heck you pulled through back then, because even now it's really hard, but go talk to someone if you think you're in trouble. Just go reach out, because I know you're not doing that right now, and you really should be, and you're trying to be like a strong, independent woman, but drinking a Chardonnay every morning at 11 a.m. and crying over the same dang season of Helsing over and over is not healthy. And by the way, that's why you get fat after you graduate, so please stop that. So one of the other things I had to come to terms with pretty much around high school was this dream I had of being a singer. You guys at this point have heard me sing, so you know that I wasn't completely full of shit. But around high school, I had a music teacher pretty much tell me that I might as well major in English or psychology, because my voice was not going to go anywhere fast, because I did not have what it took, and I was probably the weakest voice in the choir. Yep. Yeah, high school teacher told me that. Not very nice. He was also kind of a dick to other people in the class, so in retrospect, I should have seen that and like taken it in and been like, ah, maybe you're wrong. But one of the big dreams that I ended up abandoning was this pursuit of being a singer, which realistically, maybe I could have pulled off. Who knows what would have happened? But the fact is that I didn't. So what I'd like to say to my younger self that I wish I could have done sooner was, do not give up on your dream. You can be creative. You can sing. You still can't really draw, but that's okay. You can do video editing, admittedly not so great, but you can sing, and you should not give up on it. Current you currently sings at karaoke bars to make up for all that lost time that you did not spend really enjoying your voice. But what I wish I could have told you sooner is you do not need to give up on your dream of singing. Even if it's just a minor, you could have still pursued it. And frankly, I'm sad that you didn't, and I wish you had. But, you know, if you had just stuck with it and not let people get you down, who knows? Maybe you would have made it onto X Factor or The Voice or gosh knows what else, but keep singing, younger me. I really wish I had, and I'm really, really sad that we both gave up on this dream together. I am. So I am not very good with failure and not succeeding at things, and I think that stems from quite a lot of baggage. So some of the ways I've handled it in the past is crying. Also trying to overcompensate in some other field that I have not yet failed at, which admittedly is maybe not the healthiest way to deal with it, but it's how I dealt with it when I was a lot younger. My approach to things was not like things in moderation. It was either 0 or 100. I didn't really have a 50. There wasn't. It didn't exist. So some advice that I would have to my younger self is, firstly, do not be so hard on yourself. Sometimes failure is not 100% your fault, and that's okay. It really is. Sometimes you have to accept that mistakes happen. And it's okay if you make them a couple of times. But what you should not do is go into panic mode and try to fix everything at once, because I still do it. Like, I still do it, and I have to keep reminding myself not to do it. If, you know, I know when you mess up an exam, your first instinct is to pull 3 all-nighters and try to think of some creative way to make up the credit. Maybe just pull 1. Maybe actually take a nice long nap and then clear your mind and go back at it. It's okay if you get a C on a project every once in a while. You're gonna be okay. Admittedly, when I was younger, I was not an A student by any means. But I did punish myself pretty harshly if I did not get B's. Which, younger me, I would like to tell you, you did not have to do that. It's okay if you have a couple of mistakes. Your high school grades do not flipping matter after you've graduated college. It's okay. You know, you could have just been alright and just calmly approached it. Yeah, you might not get into that really big fancy college, but the fact of the matter is you will find a path after high school, and you do not need to go batshit bonkers trying to be the model student at all times. It's okay to be a human being every now and then, and I know that's hard for you to understand, high school me, but you do need to take a breath and just let yourself be you every now and then, because punishing yourself really messed you up when you got to college. I'm just gonna say that. When you got to college, you were crazy. You would pound like 5 Red Bulls because you were petrified that you wouldn't have enough time to write and correct your paper by the next 2 weeks. Which is ridiculous. You had plenty of time, and those 5 Red Bulls did nothing but mess up your sleep schedule, so don't do that. But yeah, that's, yeah. You should have handled failure probably a little bit better, because to this day, you're still not handling it super great. Yeah. Okay, so this is a pretty personal one. Being yourself. Admittedly, when you're still trying to figure out what that even means as a younger person, being yourself seems like a really weird concept. You're always yourself. You're always you. You don't change. Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you move a lot and you are the weird kid and you are pretty much not bullied so much as made fun of all through middle and high school, your first instinct may be to question yourself and try to change yourself. I'm here to tell you, younger me, that you did not have to do that. You did not have to subject yourself to almost 2 years of polo shirts and pretending like you actually cared about tennis and golf, or actually cared about Gilmore Girls, or really any of that stuff that you were pretty confident you did not like in high school. And even when you first graduated college, I still do not understand why you decided that, you know, because everybody else you knew was going into the expected job, why you thought you had to do that. You don't have to. There's plenty of different routes for you, and you do not have to freak out every single time you flunk an interview. Because in all honesty, when you first graduated college, you weren't being yourself. You were wearing preppy little dresses, and you had your plain brown hair, and you weren't happy, and you weren't being yourself. You were putting on the most elaborate act I think you'd ever put on since, you know, those crappy 2 months in college, and you didn't have to do that. You could have just been yourself, and you know, you might have found something you actually liked. You probably wouldn't have spent almost a year miserable at a job you hated. Even now, I don't have a job right now, but I finally feel like for the first time, I'm being myself, and I never was before. I was just punching a clock and counting the hours, and I felt like I was reading from a script of someone else's life. To be pretty honest. So younger me, you did not have to do that. And, you know, if we got a chance to do it all again, my biggest piece of advice would be to not be afraid of being yourself, because that is ridiculous. You should not fear that whatsoever, because you are wonderful and amazing and talented, and I'm sorry it took you so long for you to hear it. You can't see it, but I'm a little bit misty under Cupcake's head right now. But as I mentioned in the few title cards before this, one thing I would love to hear is some advice that you'd have for your younger self. What are some things, you know, you wish you could tell younger you to help, you know, really change really change your past, or even make positive changes in what you think might have been mistakes, because that's how I took this to be. Yeah, those are some pieces of advice I wish I could have told myself when I was younger. If you're a younger furry watching this, I hope this was helpful. I know a lot of you have asked me for advice, but this was honestly the most heartfelt way I could really do it. I'm sorry I'm like slurring and like misty-eyed, but that was a really personal deep dive that I didn't think I was going to be doing today, but we just did it. So yay, high five. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm gonna go dry my eyes off and have a nice tall glass of water, because I think I need it, because that was a lot. Oh boy, alright, bye!